Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. Now today's first story comes from 12 a klepto, who says, my 20 female sister, 12 female, stole my credit card and racked up $700 of charges. What the fuck? She has an issue with keeping up with the Joneses. Her friends have lots of cool stuff and she idolizes those beauty bloggers and YouTubers and want the things they have. My parents are extremely wealthy but strict. They would reward us with things when we did well in school. She pulled C's this year and asked for an iPhone and was obviously refused. Early this year in September/October, I noticed a lot of my makeup and shoes were going missing. We have the same size feet and the makeup items were popular cult classics. I put up a camera when I went to work one evening and came back to check. Lo and behold, she was taking stuff from my drawers and sitting down at my vanity to use it. Whatever, she's 12, she wants to use makeup. I destashed some items I never used and I gave her a fair amount. For her birthday, my other sister and I, other sis does not live with us, chipped in for a Sephora gift card. We thought maybe then she'd stop taking my stuff. It did stop, it looks like, because nothing has gone missing and I recorded for about a month and only saw her in my room when she went to fetch the dog, so nothing suspicious. However, lately, she's been getting packages from Amazon. She's buying Sims games and she's using a Netflix account. She stated she's been winning all these things, and despite questioning her, she refused to really admit where she got all this stuff from, so I dropped it. About 2 weeks ago, everything on our desktop computer went missing. Looking into the system recovery files, it said that there was a system file reset, something along those lines, at 11:30 AM on a Thursday. Mum and I discovered the computer was wiped that evening. I saw my sister on the computer when I left for work. We know she did something, but again, she refused to answer. Then today, I got my MasterCard bill. It was absurdly high. I paid $78 for a yoga pass and then $10 for something from eBay. At first, I thought my card info had been stolen, but the purchases all match up with stuff she has. Origin Canada, Netflix, Amazon. One eBay purchase, all online purchases, $700 worth. I have no idea what the fuck to do. My parents are again super strict. Obviously I have to tell them, but they're going to lose it on her. But I'm beginning to think she has a serious fucking problem. I have the money to pay down this card, but I don't want to. I want to recoup the losses, but how can I get a refund on something like Netflix? I can't. I've already called to cancel the card. I don't know what steps to take next. Now for me on this one, regardless of the strictness of the parents in this particular case, I think they need to know what is going on here. I know you're trying to protect your sister, but if nothing is done about this, then you'll be enabling her behavior. Which, you know, at 12 years old, she's doing this. $700 she's stealing from you. If she does this as an adult, it's a very, very serious crime and she gets herself in a lot of trouble. And do you want that for your sister? I'm sure you don't. And I don't know if it's as shocking as it is for me, but I was really shocked at the age of this. At 12 years old, is taking someone's credit card to then go and spend it all online and then wiping a computer afterwards. I'm trying to think of like my nieces or nephews doing something similar, and I'd be absolutely horrified at that and really concerned at the same time. But Gold Teeth says, you need to tell your parents. If they lose it on her, it's because she needs to learn now that money doesn't grow on fucking trees and that she is essentially an entitled thief. They're not going to get through to her. Opie says, fuck, you are right. I don't want her to become one of those brats I suffered through in retail. They knew what happened with the first time and my dad just babies her. They are old now, in their 60s, and just don't want to deal with it, so my other sister and I have become pseudo-parents, but I guess I finally need to let it be their problem. Strips replies to that one saying, if you don't tell your parents, you're enabling and perpetuating her shitty behavior. Imagine how this will play out later in life when she thinks she can get away with this shit on a much more legally culpable level. Help her out now by having an intervention. Someday, probably not anytime soon, she might thank you for it. Opie replies to that saying, "Oh, thanks, I hope so. She was a terror when she was younger, so I always thought maybe she'd grow out of it, but it looks like it's getting worse. So I guess it's time to crack down once and for all." Population Tire says your parents should lose it on her. Your sister just committed a very serious crime and now she has to deal with the consequences of that. She is about to learn a very harsh lesson, and rightfully so. Genie610 says, "Okay, I understand wanting to protect your sister, but she's going to go to jail if you don't stop letting her be entitled. If you just cancel the card but don't say anything, what's next? Shoplifting. Serious things like theft shouldn't be kept from your parents, especially if you're not even going to try and stop her from doing it. You know what that teaches her? That it's totally fine for her to do it to you, and then who else? Her friends? Her parents? There's a reason people have consequences. It's important to have boundaries and rules. You seriously need to tell your parents and have her return basically everything and work to pay you back, like babysitting or chores. But the most important thing is that you stop letting her get away with shit just because your parents might yell at her." Opie replies saying, "I explained it a little above, but my parents are retirement age and essentially dropped parenting, except for school related stuff, and we are an academic family. So I've basically been her parent for a while, but I have no concept on handling this." Sarcasm says, "Despite their strictness, you will have to tell your parents. Perhaps between you and your parents you can come up with a way that she can repay you. Your parents may have some ideas. Obviously she can't get a legitimate job, but maybe she can take up babysitting or something. I mean, this is some serious shit. Stealing is truly a serious fucking problem. Good luck, OP." One more comment from Chris XO who says, "This must suck. I remember I did this to my parents once. I stole almost $200 cash that was hidden in their dresser when I was 9. I used it to buy a ton of stuff off my school's Scholastic catalog. Eventually, my brother found out and everything went to shit. My parents yelled at me and took away everything I bought. They explained to me how bad that it was that I stole and how money is hard to earn. I understand what they said, and from that point on, I knew what the value of money was and never stole again. That summer I spent my time cleaning lawns for money to pay them back. Keep us updated on what happens. Hope you get everything sorted." So then OP goes on to add a couple more updates, which says, "Hi everyone, thanks for your advice and help. I just want to add in some points that came up in the comments. I did get mad at her when she stole from me the last time. I thought that being proactive by helping her get what she wants in a proper way would help. But we did have a nasty fight about it. I just didn't shrug it off. I now realize I totally fucked that up. My parents were strict when I was younger, so to me strict is just a word for them. But for her, they're completely checked out. I am basically her parent. My older sister not as much, but she still is involved a fair amount more than my actual parents are. I do want to lock my door, but it's where the dog hangs out and he needs to leave to pee sometimes, so I'm hesitant. I did, however, decide to order a nanny cam for my bedroom. I'm still considering the lock. Last night I came back from work and my parents had gone to bed, as well as my sister. So I decided to leave it until the morning. But I heard giggling from my sister's room, so I approached her and I decided to ask her about it before I talked to my parents. Well, she full on denied it. I'd printed my credit card statement and showed it to her, and she just said it wasn't her and she didn't do it. I'm the person with the mail key. We have a community mailbox, so I was taking in her Amazon packages. They were from the marketplace and a few of them had the prices on them, so they could go through customs and those prices matched what was on my statement. My dad has a key too, so he probably took in the ones I didn't see, which is why I didn't realize it was such a big problem. I also pointed out the Netflix charge. She said that she was using my other sister's Netflix. Other sister lives in an area about 2 hours behind our time, so I texted her right then and she said she doesn't even have Netflix anymore, as it interfered too much with her doctor at work. My younger sister lied and said she was still using it. I told her I'm giving her one chance to admit it to me, otherwise I'll be talking to our parents and I will be calling the cops. Still, she refused to admit. I even started to doubt myself. Maybe she didn't actually do it. I was going over all the charges and realized she'd have to have an Amazon account. I was the one who set up her email address so many years ago. If she forgot her password, my email was the recovery. I reset her password through my email. Not only had she charged $700 in this last billing cycle, but yesterday she brought 2 more things off Amazon, an iTunes receipt, and got a receipt from a site called The Sims Resource and a Club Penguin membership. There were still all of the old order receipts. I reset her Amazon password and I cancelled the orders she placed. I emailed Club Penguin and Netflix and told them she was a minor and she was not authorized to purchase the membership. Club Penguin was awesome and they reversed the charges for me. I guess they deal with this a lot. Netflix hasn't responded yet. This morning I talked to my parents. They offered to pay it for me and I told them that is not the point. I wanted her to learn what she did. They just dismissed it. So I told them if they don't do something, then I will not be doing their job for them anymore. I will disengage totally from my sister's life. I told them that by choosing to ignore this, my grad school applications are immediately moving out of province. This did upset them because my older sister had gone the same route due to their crazy behaviour, so they decided to talk to her. I don't know what they said, as I had to go walk my dog, but it looks like there has been 0 consequences because she looks fine and is still holed up in her room. My dad just transferred that amount to my bank account, so I'm assuming they just still don't give a shit. I haven't yet paid the card. It is due August 27, so I have time. I talked to my boyfriend and he has some friends on the police force as well as some paramedic friends who know the cops who do the DARE circuits, so he's going to try and contact one of them. My older sister has actually planned a visit for next Tuesday, so we're trying to coordinate the potential visit with that. My older sister was shocked to hear what happened, and when I told her that I might do my MSc out of province, she said that she and her husband have a room for me at their place. I could even bring my dog if I want to, so maybe that is something to consider. The next update says my boyfriend reached a cop he knows, who actually referred him to another person. He'll be coming over Tuesday afternoon after my sister and brother-in-law arrive. After the cops talk to my sister, my boyfriend is going to take her to the army offices, which are stationed near the police headquarters. She's going to get a tour of both. We decided to do that part second because she might be more cooperative after the cop shows up. My sister and I are going to talk to our parents about finding her a volunteer placement. My older sister suggested that she might need some perspective, aka not owning that game is not the end of the world, and some hard-hitting scenarios might be the best way to get that through. I called one of my cousins, who my younger sister really admires, and she's going to come talk to my younger sister too when the cops come. Intervention style, I suppose. The cop and I talked on the phone just a few minutes ago, and he said this is not the first time he's done this. There's a lot of stuff he can say, so I trust he will do that on his own. He told me that he often refers these kids to a counsellor, and that if my sister seems willing, he can refer us too. Everyone is being really helpful. I've decided to not press charges yet. A lot of you are coming down hard on my sister and she deserves it. I might show her these threads. However, she is still my sister. She is 12. My older sister and I basically raised her. We don't want to turn her into someone with a criminal record, even though yes, she deserves it. Right now we have a chance to rehabilitate her, versus deciding she's not worth it and dumping her. If I leave and she has no chance in hell with my parents, I will still be partly responsible if she goes the wrong way and I didn't try anything. It might be our house, not just her. We have extremely fucked up parents, as you guys have noted. I cannot change their ways, but if I can get her out of here, I will do so. But I can only do that if she agrees to change things. If she doesn't, then the best idea is for me to leave, because I want to have a life too. So then OP comes in with one more update which says, "Hi everyone, thanks for your patience and all the PMs asking if things are okay. I work evenings and overnight shifts, so I was basically knocked out until now. Just to clarify a few more points. I technically could be financially independent of my parents, as I've been working since I was 14 and never did anything crazy fun, so I have a lot of money saved. I also make $30 an hour now. However, after everything I had to go through with my parents and my academics, I felt like I deserved to get my tuition out of them. I don't want the cops to talk to my parents because my dad is a conspiracy theorist. He once refused to buy milk for a whole year because he said farmers are drugging the milk they give to stores to actually weaken our bones and make us dependent on their calcium fortified, more expensive milk. Yeah. Anyway, I ignored my sister and family for most of the weekend and just went to work and my boyfriend for the majority of the time. Yesterday, I got up around 8 to pick up my sister and brother-in-law. In the car, we discussed the situation. My brother-in-law is actually a neuropsychologist. He doesn't remember much from his child development, or so he says, but he offered up some points that are similar to what you guys said. The consensus seemed to be that we needed to leave our parents, but only if my little sister cooperated today. This was the major sticking point. My older sister said that when my little sister turns 14, we can work on applying for guardianship and moving her and myself to my older sister's province. Because of my parents' age and history of abuse, my sister thinks we might have a case. She has already consulted a lawyer. We had a pretty sad talk about how all my older sister wanted was to get us both out of there. She would have done it a lot sooner if she had known the extent of the problems. I haven't really told her about my younger sister's attitude issues and my parents' detachment because my older sister is working and going to grad school and I didn't want to burden her. She said the hardest thing she's ever done is leave me and my younger sister in this house. I told her that she was 21 when she left and we didn't expect her to save us. She also had not met brother-in-law yet and wasn't making much money, so it would have been way too hard for her. When we got to the house, my brother-in-law and sister briefly said hi to little sis and then went and played with my dog for a bit. My cousin called the home phone and we let little sister pick up. She said she was going to come over with her dog so we could have a play date. This worked well because it got my sister out of her room. My cousin lives about 15 minutes away, so she was there within half an hour. We put the dogs outside and watched them play until we heard the doorbell ring. I sent my little sister to open it. When she saw the cop, she started crying immediately. The policeman was super nice. He sat down with everyone in the room and he told her instantly that he wasn't there to get her in trouble, but he wanted to talk to her. He even had a poster board. He set it up and started talking about a few girls he had known who had gotten into this type of lifestyle. The stories were kind of sad and a lot of them were similar to the ones you guys talked about in the comments. My cousin told my sister about how hard it was to watch me and my older sister growing up, but we did the best we could so we could make her life for her. She told my little sister that she isn't a bad person, even though she might feel this way because of how mad I was with her. But the lying has got to stop. Kids who lie grow up into adults who lie, and adults who lie don't get to live nice lives. I talked to her about how all those videos she watches and celebrities she worships, they work really hard for that stuff. Sure, they might get some of that stuff for free, but success has a price. I told her that she's only 12 and has so much time to be successful, but people who steal and lie don't get to go that way. I even pointed out that her favorite singer, Ariana Grande, has also apologized for some things she's done, and now everyone has forgotten, and it's not as big of a deal. My older sister and brother-in-law made her a deal. They said if she gets a 3.5 in her first year of high school, which should be easy as it's not an academic school, then she can come with me after I graduate from my BA and live back with them. My older sister even showed her printouts of the house they want to buy so that we can live there. They have 3 dogs and a lot more freedom than we do at this house. The cop explained that not everyone gets a chance to fix things. He pointed to his poster board, which in retrospect is pretty funny, and asked if she wanted to be like them. My little sister was still crying. She ended up coming over to me and hugging me and apologizing. She didn't make any excuses or say anything except that she was sorry for what she did, and that was good enough for me. My cousin and the policeman left and he gave us the referral. However, my brother-in-law has a few colleagues who could do better, in his opinion, and he's going to talk to them instead. So at least we have options for someone she can talk to without feeling judged. Then I text my boyfriend and told him to take her to the Army's HQ this weekend, as I didn't want her to get way too overwhelmed today. Last night, we put a plan together before I went to work. She's going to walk and feed my dog every second day until it snows. This is how she will pay me back. She will also learn to do her own laundry starting this weekend. We're going to get her a bus pass and I'm going to teach her how to get to her school on transit. I did this at her age and it's time she learned. She's going to start studying with me in the school year. I go to the library and she will come with me. University shouldn't care as I see it all the time. If her grades go up by her first report card, I'll talk to my parents about getting her something nice, but any misbehaviour, and this means anything, the deal is off. She'll also hand over all her passwords and passcodes to me. I get to check her stuff whenever I want. If she improves over the winter break, we are going to visit my sister where she lives and have a sister trip. My sister offered to pay for the tickets, but only if my little sister's attitude improves. My brother-in-law drew up the attitude improvements. No more lying, period. If she's upset, she has to talk to me first and foremost before lashing out. She does what she's told, no exceptions. She shows me all of her homework to be done at the beginning of the week and lets me check up on it. She starts journaling. I used to tell my older sister things that way, and I even used that method to tell my boyfriend upsetting things. I went through her computer and found lots of story files, so I got her a little journal, $5 from Walmart. I think it'll help her sort out her feelings before she lies and cries and acts like a brat. Brother-in-law is calling his friends later today. Maybe this is all overly optimistic, but this is our chance. If it fails, it fails, but this is my baby sister. I can't just let her go. So thanks Reddit for all your help and concern. If in 4 months it goes badly, I will let you know. If you don't hear from us, we're living it up with my sister's 3 dogs. And of course, there was no further update from OP, so I can only assume that it was a positive ending for them all, and I'm glad to see it. You know, we see it a lot where family members are cut out their lives, and I think it, for me anyway, I know the 12-year-old done absolutely wrong, not excusing their behavior at all, but it would be really sad to just see her continue down this, negative path, which could potentially ruin her life later down the road if it did continue like that. The sister stepped in, and they stepped in as a family apart from the parents, of course, and they're trying to do right by her, and I think it's got to be a good thing, right? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just as always, a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for being involved, sharing your love towards the story, to OP, to one another as well. I think it's absolutely incredible, and never forget how amazing that is. At the end of the video right now, you will see a couple of playlists that you can click on, and it will scroll through all the various videos for you. So whatever you're doing right now, and don't forget to let me know as always, I love to hear it. It will just keep scrolling whilst you can keep listening. Thank you so much, and much love to you. Take care.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today